if we have some time, we may run the whole interview. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Denny about running maybe the whole interview this afternoon on the AM. Maybe I don't know whether
it'll be a podcast either way.
Yeah, either way, it's podcast on the internet too and all that stuff. So
the world,
the world will see it. Yeah.
It sure has changed.
All right. Here we go. Coming in 3, 2, 1. Well, we're very pleased on this Tuesday morning to have University of Nebraska President Hank Bounds with us today, along with State Senator John Stinner, who is hosting the president, taking him around Scotts Bluff, and also I hear that the president is already asking for money. So you had to think that was going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so welcome to Scotts Bluff. Welcome to the Panhandle. I know you're visiting a number of communities. Let's talk, I guess, first of all, you've been in the office for about a year. What are your impressions of the university in the year you've been there?
So, middle of April was a year.
Yeah.
Starting year 2, spent a lot of time traveling the state, getting to know Nebraskans. Spent a lot of time on our research centers, on all of our campuses, talking to faculty, staff, students, alums. And you know, one of the things that has really stood out to me is how passionate people are about the University of Nebraska. It's rare that you find a state that has one public university. People love this university. They want to support us. They want their children to attend school here. They want us to remain affordable and accessible. We're a really, really good university. We're doing lots of things really well. But there are 2 or 3 areas where we're going to focus on over the next several years and really ensure that we're truly one of America's great public universities.
All right. So, what are those areas that you want to focus on, and you think need to do in order to move NU up to that category?
Sure. So, a couple weeks ago, I had my formal investiture. That typically takes place 3 or 4 months into the job. I waited a full year because obviously I'm not from Nebraska or the Midwest, and I need to really take the time to understand the opportunities that exist here. And so I rolled out what I call 4 cornerstones where I think we have the potential to be really, really special. So when you think about the university, so just take UNL, Big Ten campus, about 25,000 students. We're never going to be the size of Michigan State or Ohio State. We're not going to be a 60,000 student campus. We're not going to have a $1 billion research enterprise, but there are areas where we should be, in my view, best in the world. So cornerstone number 1 is that I want the University of Nebraska to be the absolute best university in the country to be a student. So that means affordability, accessibility, a place where students graduate on time with less debt, and they leave with a great education and are able to get a job. So that's cornerstone number 1. Cornerstone number 2 wraps around the types of research that we should be doing. We do lots of research in many areas. We need to grow that portfolio, but water and food security is one where we'll be really focused in. Being creative around finding solutions to help the warfighter combat weapons of mass destruction is another area. Dealing with finding better treatments and cures for cancer, and then treating infectious disease. So those are some of the main areas where we'll be focused over the next 5 or 6 years. We think that the third cornerstone is that the University of Nebraska needs to be the best partner in the state. So that means that we need to help K-12 get better. We need to help community colleges, state colleges, private colleges get better. We need to be the best partner in terms of economic development. We need to be the engine that drives economic development in terms of bringing in jobs and new opportunities so Nebraskans can stay in Nebraska. And then the fourth area is around an area that has just been, for my entire career, my belief system, and that is that you win with people. So I want this to be the best university in the country to work. So that means providing the right kind of facilities to work in, providing the right kind of support. We're not going to be able to pay the highest salaries. We're not going to have the best benefits, but we can be the best place to work. We can create a culture that appreciates our people and gives them opportunity to be creative and find solutions to our country's most pressing problems.
So, Senator, when you listen to all that, can we accomplish all that, do you think, with the help of the legislature?
Well, that's that's a pretty comprehensive and broad approach, very deep approach. Certainly, the university is one of the main assets that we have in our state. So we want to be able to promote it as best we can and support it as best we can.
I know he's already talking to you about funding. I know you guys are looking at a budget that is maybe a 3.5% increase annually. When you try to fit all the things that the university would like to do, can you fit it in a budget that's only that much of an increase?
Yeah, and we talked about this. It depends on revenue growth. If revenue growth is going to be 4%, it'll be a challenge. But if we can hit that 4.775, I think we can do that. But we're going to have to prioritize really what we want to do. And the university certainly is a priority. Education is a priority. When you look at our budget, 40–45% of our budget is dedicated to the future, which is education. It's K through 12, it's a university, it's the state schools, it's community colleges. But we also have to take care of our other needs. Certainly from the safety standpoint, we have a prison problem, an overcrowding problem that has to be addressed, and that will be a priority as we look at the next biennium. And certainly aid to individuals, which includes Medicaid. We need to make sure that we have our arms around that we're as efficient as we possibly can be. And we've got behavioral health, we've got child welfare, those types of things that continue to grow at a fairly rapid pace. We just need to get our arms around that and try to be as efficient as we possibly can, so everything does fit into that.
Okay. Hank, you talked about these strategies. I mean, having an actual plan, an actual strategic plan with the 4 cornerstones you have, you're thinking maybe the university didn't necessarily have those specific things set down before you came, right?
Well, we've been focused on student success. We've been trying to grow the research portfolio. We've tried to be a good place to work, but from a true focus standpoint, having measurable outcomes, we haven't been there. And at the end of the day, what gets measured gets done. And so thinking about what that should look like, to Senator's point, we fully recognize that there are X number of needs out there with very limited resources, and we recognize that we need to be really focused in on what's most important at the university and invest in those things in an appropriate way, and at the same time be as efficient and running our campuses as we possibly can be.
All right. You mentioned one of the other things you mentioned is talking about students and debt, and you're going to visit area high schools today, and you want them to want those students, when they think about going to college, to think about a timely graduation. So even if they do roll up some debt, it's not as much as it is if it takes 5, 6, 7 years to complete their college degree.
Yeah, so we have way too many students who think that college is a 6-year plan. I think our board of regents was really smart a few years ago in setting a policy that caps all degree programs at 120 hours, except 2 or 3. There's some engineering programs that require a bit more because of accreditation standards. But 95–98% of our degree programs are capped at 120 hours. So that means if a student takes 15 hours each semester, fall and spring, that they graduate in 4 years. When they don't do that, every year, if you add 1 more year, then you're adding 20% more cost, maybe 20% more debt. So add up food, room and board, and tuition and books, and then take away a year's earning power, and you get to a very large number very quickly. And so we're starting to work, we're obviously working with the students that we already have, but it's pretty important that we start working with middle school students and high school students and their parents to help them understand exactly what college looks like, that it should be a 4-year plan, help them understand the types of courses that they need to take in high school so that they can be academically prepared, And we're spending a lot of time on the road speaking to kids, sending out lots of information, social media, and in every other way, just so that we can connect with parents and with students. We have so many students who are first generation college students that they really don't understand what college is all about, what it looks like, and how they need to approach it. And so we've started this campaign, Commit to Complete, about a month ago, and we're already seeing lots of excitement generated around it. People are talking about it nationally even, and it really fits nicely into this being the best place in the country to be a student. We want students to come here, be focused. We're going to commit to them to do certain things. We need them to commit to us to do certain things so that we can get them out in a timely way with less debt and into a job.
You're also kind of in a little bit of a transition period. I mean, you have Ronnie Green now, who was with the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Now he's the new chancellor of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and he's going to be starting that new job officially next week. So you're kind of doing that transition. There's other transitions you're working on as well, right?
Well, change is always tough, but it's a really exciting time for the university. Ronnie will start officially on Monday, and I wanted to start a bit earlier. June 30th would have been sort of the natural break, but I need the new person in the job, particularly in Ronnie's case. He has to name a successor. He has to name a successor in the chief academic role. We already have interims that have been named and will start next week as well. He needs to start the formal search process. He needs to be a part of building the budget. The good thing is Ronnie's been here for some time. He knows the state, he knows the people, he knows the challenges that we face at UNL, and Ronnie's going to do a great job. I'm excited that he will be in this role. Work really hard to make certain that we make this transition as smooth as possible. He's going to be a great partner, and I think we're really going to see great things coming out of UNL in the years ahead.
Fantastic. So when you look, Senator, at all the things he's talking about, you have to be impressed with the whole plan, huh?
Well, the thing that impresses me most is the energy level that he has, the excitement he brings to the job. Certainly very, very much a leader and approachable. So those are really good qualities. I know he's reached out to Western Nebraska on several occasions and intends to continue to do that to try to bring the state together, and that's pretty refreshing.
Yeah, we really appreciate the fact that you're here and you're out here, and not only here but also in Alliance and all across the Panhandle here this week. And boy, your plan, it sounds like you really know what you want to do. That's great.
Well, I think we're headed in the right direction. Western Nebraska is such an important part of the state, economically and every other way. We have great research facilities out here. We need to work harder from the university's perspective to make certain that our citizens in Western Nebraska feel just as much of a part of the university as if they lived in Kearney, Omaha, or Lincoln. And so you'll see me out here a good bit. You'll see Ronnie and our other chancellors out here. This is a 500-mile wide campus, and we want everyone in Nebraska to feel that.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And welcome to Scottsbluff. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You bet.
Thanks, Kip.
Okay, good deal, guys.
All right.
Great.